Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for being here again and watching another episode of Raw Food Dan. So I was reading my book, Fit for Life, and I already did a video on that. If you haven't watched it, you probably should. It's a really good video about a really, really good book. But I thought I was done reading the book, and then I kept reading the appendices or appendixes. I don't know how you pronounce it. Appendixes. Anyway, Appendix 2 is called The Fountain of Youth. And when I read it, I was like, oh my God, I have to do another video because this is absolutely incredible. And I'm, an ethical vegan, raw vegan for health, but ethical vegan for the animals. So I'm pretty much opposed to not pretty much, I am opposed to animal testing or studies that are done on it. But in this chapter, this Appendix 2, there was one that really got my attention. I thought, I need to make a video about this. So that's what I'm going to do. It starts off talking about basically how much energy is required to digest our food, which I did not realize how much energy we require to digest food. And then it breaks it down and starts talking about the enzymes and the importance of, and first it talks about the different types of enzymes, metabolic enzymes, life-saving enzymes, and digestive and food enzymes. And anyway, I won't bore you with all that, even though it's really, to me, it's not boring at all. But I never really understood how important enzymes are. So, especially when it comes to food. So when we cook food, it kills all the enzymes in the food. Anytime we heat it up over 118 degrees, it actually kills the enzymes in the food, which actually help help make it easier for our system to digest the foods that we eat. I had heard this. That's kind of what initially turned me on to raw food. It surprised me that even though this book was referred to me by one of my favorite raw food content creators, Chris Kendall, it wasn't a raw food book, or so I thought. And then at the end, he puts this in here, and you can tell it was added later after. And somebody commented on that video that I made about this book that maybe this was written back in the day. And indeed, it was written back in the day. And that's probably, matter of fact, let's check and see when it was first copyrighted. Because I know he's went back and kind of like updated it since, well, I say he's dead now, so I shouldn't say that. But first printing, I guess it was 2000, which that's the year I graduated high school. That doesn't seem like that long ago, but it is. It's 23 years ago. A lot of new information has come to light since then. Anyway, so then there's this little blurb in here. He talks about animals in nature never eat cooked foods. Coincidentally, they also do not suffer from diseases of affluence. And you might be wondering, what are diseases of affluence? Would be heart disease, cancer, kidney and thyroid disease, pneumonia, paralysis, loss of teeth, arthritis, difficulty in labor, diminished sexual interest, diarrhea, irritability. Well, not all those are diseases of affluence, but a lot of them are. Osteoporosis, liver impairment. So anyway, the study that is in here is called the Pottinger study. Apparently it is known all around the world, recognized all around the world, and so you shouldn't have a problem like Googling it and pulling it up. I really wanted to forego reading this, but I don't think there's any way to get across the information and how powerful it is without just reading what this says, because it's just powerful. It goes on to talk about, the closer the animals are to us. So like pets, dogs, cats, animals that we keep in zoos, the worse their health is, because we start feeding them cooked food, ironically. Or that's the theory. That's kind of what he's showing in this study. So I'm just going to read it because, again, I don't think there's any way to adequately share the information without just reading it. So I know it's weird to watch a video of somebody just reading, but check this out. This was cool. I really, really thought this was amazing. So it says, I must share with you one phenomenally impressive study that is recognized the world over as one of the most convincing studies on this subject ever conducted. I lived in Los Angeles for 35 years, so I did the bulk of my research at the UCLA Medical Library, one of the best in the country. I spent hundreds of hours there poring over studies to substantiate my work. Finding this amazing study, which I wrote about in Fit for Life 2, By the way, I just ordered that, so I'm going to be reading that. He says, finding this amazing study was like winning the lottery. Cha-ching. The study has been come to known as the Pottinger's cats. Dr. Francis Pottinger carried out a meticulous, thorough 10-year experiment using 900 cats placed on controlled diets. Only 2 items of food were used and were either given raw or cooked state. The results were so overwhelmingly convincing, or conclusive and convincing, that there can be no doubt whatsoever of living, uncooked foods' superiority over cooked foods. You might be thinking, well, what could this possibly have shown, Dan? The cats fed only the living raw food, produced healthy kittens year after year. There was no ill health, no disease, no premature death. Death came only to those cats as the natural consequence of old age. Wouldn't that be nice? However, the cats fed the exact same cooked food, developed every one of humanity's modern ailments. Heart disease, cancer, kidney and thyroid disease, pneumonia, paralysis, loss of teeth, arthritis, difficulty in labor, diminished sexual interest, diarrhea, irritability so intense that the cats were dangerous to handle, liver impairment, osteoporosis. This part blew me away. Listen to this part. The excrement, which I think is Spanish for cat poo, the excrement from these cats was so toxic that weeds proliferated in the stools from the cats fed the living uncooked food. Here's the clincher. The first generation, so they couldn't even grow weeds in the soil that the cats were poo-pooing in that ate the cooked food. That's crazy, right? Here's the clincher. The first generation of kittens born to the group of cats who were fed only cooked food were sick and abnormal. The second generation were often born diseased or dead. By the third generation, the mothers were sterile. Dr. Pottinger conducted similar studies on white mice, and the results coincided exactly with those run on cats. That blew me away. Think about that. 900 cats. Why have we not heard about this study? I think it's because most people are absolutely not willing to eat a raw food diet. He's not. Even Harvey. After this chapter, well, toward the end of it, he says, right about now, you might be thinking, I'm getting around trying to convince you to become a total raw fooder, eating only uncooked food. I would hope so. Nope, that is not my intention. Hey, I love cooked food, and I'm not about to give it up. Like, I didn't love cooked food? That reminds me of the arguments of people that don't want to go vegan. Well, Dan, I really love bacon. Oh, Dan, I really love cheeseburgers, steak, crab legs, lobster, whatever it is, right? As if somehow I'm like the only person alive that never enjoyed those foods. Yeah, bacon, oh God, it was just disgusting. I never enjoyed it. Of course not. I loved bacon. I loved prime rib, filet mignon, all those meat, animal products, cheese. I loved cheese. It's just, I love the feeling of not consuming those products a whole lot more than otherwise. So, again, I don't know why I thought this was just the most amazing thing ever, but it just proves the whole enzyme thing. You know what I mean? That's what he does after this whole thing is he talks about enzymes and heat and how heat destroys enzymes and how important enzymes are for our metabolic mechanism. Okay, is very, very, very important. And again, this is something I never really learned about. It's something that once I learned about, I got really excited because I knew I was in control of what I eat. Even though the idea of only eating raw, uncooked foods did not appeal to me at first. I didn't go, oh yay, I can't wait to not ever eat cooked foods again. But again, it was kind of like that. I'm just going to try it out and just do one day at a time. So I'm really hungry. I got to go. I just wanted to read that to you guys and share that with you. I'm trying to stay hydrated. This is my amethyst water. You can buy one of these on Amazon. I should try to find a link, put it in the description below. Maybe I'll do that. I think drinking water that is infused with amethyst energy is really, really... I don't have a book or an article to prove that, but that's just a theory. This was a gift to my wife from a gentleman who actually died in a car accident the night before last. Head-on collision. So I'm not just drinking this to honor his life or his, but she didn't use it. So I was like, I'm going to use this. So I drink, this is like my 4th one today. I drink a lot of water out of this. I put purified water in it, and sometimes I put trace minerals as well, which I should probably do more often because I think purified water is probably not good for me. Again, I don't have a book or a study. It's just what I believe because I've heard other people say it. Other people that I highly regard their opinion because they're more learned than I am in natural hygiene and the truth around medicine and our bodies. So anyway, Harvey Diamond apparently was like a closet, wish I could have been a raw fooder. That part in there about him saying, I'm not going to try to turn you into raw food. I was just like, what? I thought he was going to see the light. I almost didn't buy Fit for Life 2 because it's not raw, but whatever. I think it's going to be good anyway. So yeah, look that study up and try to eat some more raw foods because they're loaded with enzymes. Oh, that was the other thing I want to say real quick. So his whole thing is, no, I'm not going to try to tell you not to eat cooked foods. Just eat enzymes with your cooked foods. And of course, he has a website where he sells enzymes. And not to say that every single time somebody's selling something that I just shut down and close off, but there is part of me that thinks like if you're trying to sell me something, your opinion is just worth a little bit less. And again, that's probably not right of me to do, but I'm just being honest with it. So I do take enzymes and I do believe in enzymes, but I don't sell them. I take the Pyridime enzymes. I've eaten 2 big bags and 2 containers of the powder in the last like 280 something days. So I've gone through a lot of enzymes. And I wish I could sit here and tell you that because of that, I feel like super, super healthy, but I think I felt pretty healthy even before this whole raw food thing. So I'm not really doing the raw food thing to feel healthier. I'm doing it, well, yeah, I am partially, but I think the compounded effects of my raw food journey are going to, the first 30 days are going to be the hardest and I will see the least amount of results. I think most people overestimate what they can get done in 30 days and they drastically underestimate what they can get done in 3 years. So I'm trying to do a 3-year raw food experiment to see what the compounded good results are. But I can already tell I'm probably going to continue this lifestyle long term past 3 years, but I don't know for sure. Right now I'm just going to do it for today. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. So anyway, yeah, he was just saying, no, don't stop eating cooked food. Just eat enzymes with your cooked food, which I'm not saying is a bad idea, but why not just go raw? I think the only reason is because it's uncomfortable. Well, doing uncomfortable stuff is really, really good for us. I woke up this morning and I did deadlifts, 4 sets of 9 reps of like really, really heavy straight leg Romanian deadlifts. That wasn't fun. That wasn't easy, but it was worth it. And I enjoy the results of doing hard stuff way better than, the pain of regret of not doing them. So thanks for watching. Mash the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe below. Ring the notification bell so you get notified every single time I produce new content. And also, please leave a comment below. Thank you.